Hare Krishna. So we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Jagat Maharaj with us. Of course, he doesn't need any introduction, but just as a formality, I can say that he's one of the most esteemed disciples of Srila Prabhupada. He's a scholar and he's authored many books. He's a life coach, he's a mentor, he's a spiritual master, and we are very fortunate to have him here, and he has just come to support the Hare Krishna temple in Burbank. So let's welcome him again with a big Haribol. Haribol! 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 His Holiness Jagat Maharaj ki.
I'll take it.
Hare Gold Sri Srimad Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anand Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Nama Acharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Names of Kabod Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivashari Gaur Bhakta Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Sham Radha Kunji Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navdeep Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Gangamai Ki Jai, Ramanamai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled deities. All glories to the assembled deities. All glories to the assembled deities. Go Premanande. Wonderful to see you. In decades.
It's got to be 75. 75 in Vrindavan.
Wow. Hare Krishna. Catch up. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnana-jnana-shalakaya Sattva-vedikam jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamadam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahadana Raghunathan Vitam Sam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Pradeshana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahadana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Karunosute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishna Bhanu Sute Devi Paramani Hare Manchato Padarupyasya Kripasindho Devasya Patikanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very much for being here. And do we have enough of a rush? I guess we do. No, but then if you sit there, the rasta becomes smaller and smaller. So those who are by the door, ladies, if you'll move forward somewhat, actually all the ladies, then we will block up the doorway. And while we're considering such matters, if you would check your cell phone and see that it's in silent mode, that would also be auspicious. So in the fourth canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the history of Dhruva Maharaj, the son of King Uttamana. He was just a little boy, and when he saw his brother sitting on the king's lap, naturally he also wanted to get on the king's lap. But his stepmother told him that you can't get up on the king's lap because you're not my son. Two wives were there. The king had two wives, Suruchi, Suniti. So Suniti was the mother of Dhruva Maharaj. Suruchi was the king's favorite wife. So because you're not the son of the favorite wife, you can't get up on the king's lap. The second meaning is that you can't inherit the throne of your father. My son will be the king, not you. But if you want to sit on your father's lap, then you can do austerities and penances so that you can get the favor of Lord Vishnu, so that next birth you can take your birth from my womb, then you can have that desire. So, consultingly, she said these things. And the boy naturally was hurt. His heart was pierced. So he went crying to his mother. And his mother said, what can I do? It's a fact that your stepmother is the king's favorite. Practically, he doesn't even consider me his maidservant. There's nothing I can do to help. But Lord Vishnu is more affectionate than thousands of mothers like me. And he can do everything for you. So your stepmother is right. That only if you're favored by Lord Vishnu. So, Dhruva Maharaj, then where do I find Lord Vishnu? Yes, some sages go to the forest and look for him there. Then I go. Very determined. Dhruva means determination. So then I'll go. So the boy, only 5 years old, he went to the forest and he's looking everywhere for Lord Vishnu. I think some place in the lecture program said that he was asking the animals, have you seen Lord Vishnu? Have you seen Lord Vishnu? And the Lord saw this boy is very serious. So he sent Narad Muni. Would you please help him? So Narad appeared before Dhruva Maharaj. What are you doing? I'm looking for Lord Vishnu so that I can get kingdom. Lord Vishnu is very difficult to reach. You'll have to do severe tapasya. And you're just a little boy. At your age, you're meant for playing games and playing around. So better give up this determination of yours. You go home. And when you're grown up, if you still want to do these things, then you can do this tapasya and all of that. So Dhruva Maharaj, no, this is my purpose, firm purpose, and then if you can help me. Actually, Narad Muni gave him good philosophical advice. How one should see everything from the point of view of equanimity how one should not be overcome by material desires. Gave him very good instructions. And Dhruva admitted, yes, these are very good instructions, but I'm not a Brahminical sort of fellow. I'm a Kshatriya, and it doesn't work for me. So I have my purpose, and if you can help me to find Lord Vishnu so I can get that kingdom, then you kindly help me. Otherwise, Prabhupada sent in a purport that he told Nard, otherwise you go home. So Nard Muni had been testing the boy. He saw this is very serious. So he initiated him in Krishna consciousness. With the, yes, this is the beginning. To have some serious interest, ado shraddha. And then, by the grace of Krishna, one may get the association of devotees, sadhu sangha. And then, under the guidance of an expert devotee, one can practice. And then the heart becomes purified and one makes further progress. So Narad Muni gave him a mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You chant this mantra, and soon, very quickly, you'll be able to reach your mission. So Dhruva did it. With great tapasya, it's just Bhagavatam describes that first he was eating, what was it? Just fruits and leaves and so on from the forest. Then he was eating like that every third day. Then after that he was only drinking water. And then also every few days. And after that he was only taking air, living on air. Then after that also not even air. The yogis, as described in the Bhagavad Gita, they offer the outgoing breath into the incoming breath into the outgoing breath. So finally the breath itself is held in abeyance, equilibrium, not even breathing. Guru Maharaj reached that stage where his breath was suspended. And all the demigods felt that we're choking up because Guru Maharaj, by his tapasya, became so powerful that his breath was practically equal to the breath of the universe. Prabhupada explained that if you're traveling on an airplane, then the airplane is going, I don't know what speed. What speed do the airplanes go? 800 kilometers an hour. And if you're sitting in the airplane, you're also going 800 kilometers an hour. Because you become one with the airplane. Although you maintain your individuality, still, the airplane is going at 800, you go at 800. Or sometimes, in India especially, we're on a bicycle, we catch hold of the back of a lorry, and then we're going at lorry speed. So, in this way, Dhruva Maharaj became practically one with the total universe. So when he stopped his breathing, all the demigods felt like they were choking. So they went to Brahma went to Lord Vishnu. Then don't worry, it's only the boy, Dhruva Maharaj. And he's a good boy, it's not some demonic influence. I'll go see him, everything will be alright, don't worry. So Dhruva Maharaj was there in the forest and he's chanting the mantra and his breath is suspended and he's standing on one leg over it. And he's fixing the form of Lord Vishnu within his mind. This is yoga. What is that? Jnana Vastata Tadgatena Manasa Pashantiyam Yogi. The yogis actually see the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within their purified minds or purified hearts. So Dhruva Maharaj had reached that perfection. It's not just that he was doing tapasya and meditating on something impersonal. He was seeing the personality of Godhead within his heart. So then the Lord came there, and suddenly the form on which he was meditating, on which Dhruva was meditating, disappeared. And Dhruva Maharaj thought, now I've lost him. So his meditation was broken, and he opened his eyes. And he saw that the same form that he was seeing within himself was now standing before him. And so Dhruva Maharaj was overwhelmed. And he didn't know what to do, he wanted to say something, but he couldn't say anything. So then the Lord touched him on the head with his kansha. That means giving blessings. So when the Lord blessed Dhruva Maharaj, then Dhruva Maharaj was inspired or enabled by the Lord to offer very nice prayers to the Lord. And Prabhupada explains that this is the method of Krishna consciousness. One has to get the mercy of the Lord in order to glorify the Lord. Or in order to do anything. It requires the mercy of the Lord. One can chant the holy name by the mercy of the holy name. It's not by our own power. I'll chant Hare Krishna. We can have that determination. I'll chant Hare Krishna. But finally, one can chant purely by the grace of the holy name himself. So one can glorify the Lord in that way by the mercy of the Lord. And Prabhupada, of course, was writing all of these things from his own realization, because he'd written so many books, and still he was writing more books. By inspiration from personality of Godhead, by the grace of the personality of Godhead. There's so many scholars, they can write their nonsense books, but it has no ultimate value. Just their mental speculations, their ideas and concoctions. And that doesn't help anyone. Maybe it helps them get a degree or scholarly credentials. But no one becomes Krishna conscious in that kind of writing. But when a pure devotee writes to glorify the Lord, then by the grace of the Lord, the writing becomes spiritually powerful. It becomes potent with transcendental energy. And people who even come in touch with the book become uplifted and are drawn to the service. So this, similarly, Kaviraj Goswami, in his old age, his hands are shaking. He's so many, very old age, and he's writing Chaitanya Charitamrita on such a wonderful book by the mercy of the Lord. So every one of us, our efforts can be successful only by even the materialists. Even Dhruva Maharaj, he was a materialist. He wanted a kingdom. Even he got the determination that why my father's kingdom? I want a kingdom that's better than my father's. Why better than my father's? Better than my grandfather. Why better than my grandfather? Better than my great-grandfather's kingdom. His grandfather was Anandabhumanu, and his great-grandfather was Lord Brahma. So, how much material desire was there? I want a kingdom better than my great-grandfather's. Such an, almost we can say, impossible desire. But he had that desire. That's why he wasn't thinking that let me purify my heart, let me find the ultimate purpose of life, let me become self-realized. No, I want a kingdom. Like a child. I want this. He was a child. I want a kingdom. I want a big kingdom. I want a bigger kingdom. In the Bhagavad Gita, artha jigyasa jnana. There are 4 kinds of sukriti, pious or fortunate people come to devotional service. Artha jigyasa jnana. Those who are in distress, those who have some material desire, jigyasu, those who are curious, and again, those who have some knowledge. They'll approach Krishna because of their good fortune. Otherwise, the opposite party, those who are devoid of pious credit, when they're in distress, when they want something, when they're curious, when they get some knowledge, they just use it all to deny the personality of Godhead, to try to usurp the property of Godhead. So they're useless. But somehow or other, if one approaches Krishna, whether for material desires or desiring liberation or without desires, then he becomes so fortunate. Dhruva Maharaj approached the Lord with these things in mind, and by the grace of the Lord, he was empowered to offer beautiful prayers, glorifying the Lord. You'll find those in the 4th canto. And the Lord granted him. Yes. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj, by that time when he saw the Lord, he forgot about wanting the kingdom. He just his heart was purified. Let me serve the Lord. But the Lord insisted, no, you wanted a kingdom, I'll give you a kingdom, as you desired. There's a special planet reserved for you, Dhruvaloka, the pole star. It's a transcendental planet. It's described in Bhagavatam. And even when everything else is destroyed, that planet continues to exist. So the Lord granted Dhruva Maharaj a long lifetime, 36,000 years, and with full power of the senses. 36,000 years. Now I'm 75. If you say, oh, may you live another 10 years, no. It's already so much trouble. Not another 10 years. No, another 20. 20? No. Because we're all falling apart and all the pieces are in disarray. But Dhruva Maharaj, 36,000 years, but with perfect health, perfect power of the senses, perfect everything. So you'll live 36,000 years and then you'll go back to God. Lord gave this blessing. then when Dhruva Maharaj was going back home, he was morose. He was, my father used to say, if he made some mistake in business, he said, I could kick myself. So Dhruva Maharaj was kicking himself. I was such a fool that I approached Lord Vishnu to get some insignificant material kingdom. I'm like a person who approaches the emperor and asks for some few grains. Just like, was it Mr. Ambani? He's the biggest man now. You approach Mr. Ambani, finally after so much trouble you get past the secretaries, you get past the guards. Mr. Ambani, yes, what would you like? Could I have a few grains of rice? That's like madness. So much he could give. And so Dhruva Maharaj was thinking, I'm such a fool. I approached Lord Vishnu for getting a stupid kingdom. And now I have to live with it. Because the Lord was within his heart, he knew this boy, this is what he wants. But by the grace of the Lord, he got all of those things and perfection. He got the Dhruva planet and got to achieve the eternal association of Krishna. Well, this history is there. There's more. In the fourth canto, you'll find more about the history of Dhruva Maharaj. Time is a little limited. But we hear that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very fond of hearing and speaking about the activities of Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. The chief devotees, they only want to talk about Rasa Lila and such things. And they'll hold a 7-day discourse just to talk about those topics. But the pure devotees relish all the topics connected with Krishna. His killing Kamsa, his living in Dwarka, his killing so many other demons. Everything, not just Raslila. That's for the Prakrita Sattva's, the materialistic imitation devotees who take everything to be very cheap. But Srila Prabhupada took care to present Krishna consciousness as the science of Krishna. And for that scientific knowledge, Bhagavad Tattva Vigyan, we have to go step by step, not rushing and jumping, trying to catapult ourselves into the groves of Vrindavan. We just have to follow patiently, seriously. And in the mature stage, Krishna will reveal everything. That confidence we should have. That just by serving Krishna, everything will be achieved. Krishna Bhakti Koyala Sarva Karma Katavai. Just by serving Krishna, everything. Perfection. Hare Krishna. Maybe we'll leave some time, see if there's some comments or some questions. You want to do something today?
Asya Devi Parabhakti, Asya Devi Jata Guru, Asya Rite Katicharya, Pratasante.
Here, take this one.
So good to see you again.
So good to see you.
Honestly, it's been such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. You still look the same.
No progress.
He's deceiving you all.
As I said, no progress.
He's very young. His heart is always young. Yeah, so one who has the implicit faith of Guru and Krishna all the imports of Vedic knowledge were automatically revealed. And just as Maharaj was speaking, so many things were coming to mind, and that's the power of association. And we also, Ata harekrishnatemple, na harekrishnacentre, Sivan Mukhe Hijivido Swayam Meva Sprayada. One cannot understand Krishna by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotee, being pleased by their transcendental loving service unto him. Prabhupada has given us this simple form. And I feel so blessed today because Maharaj is in my presence again after so many years. We first met in Vrindavan. I was involved in helping Prabhupada build the Krishna Balaram temple, and Maharaj used to come regularly and visit, And we used to have regular talks, and we used to have jokes, It's nice. So here you are. So good. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Thank you so much. Such good fortune.
Fantastic. This is Vishalami.
Yes. Dhruva Maharaj was so determined, and it seems like it wasn't explained how he had that determination, and it sort of seemed like it was from material ambition. Is that the only way we can be determined to progress in life? Is there any way we can be determined to progress in life? First thing, most important thing is the association of those who are determined. On our own, what can we do? If we associate and follow in the footsteps of those who are determined, and even hear about those who are determined, like Dhruva Maharaj. And then we can take advantage of occasions like Ekadashi. All right, let me do something more, let me chant more, let me hear more. Read something more. And if we, who are we to stand on one leg and stop our breathing? If we follow strictly these 4 regulative principles and chant seriously, set number of rounds, then determination will develop more. Yes. Just these, for Kali Yuga, this is a big vow. Let me follow these 4 regulative principles strictly. No intoxicants, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling. And chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. And those who remain brahmachari, they'll develop greater determination. Yes. And that brahmachari vow means increased determination more naturally. But not just, anyway, brahmachari, not brahmachari, any brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, let us be determined to follow these regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna, rise early in the morning, hear something, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Everything is there. Krishna consciousness movement is teaching how to do this. It's nothing, it's like a big secret that I'll come from America, and I'll finally tell you the real way to do it that no one knew about. It's all out in the open. The whole Krishna consciousness movement is developed, is set up in such a way that if we simply follow this program of Krishna consciousness, everything will follow. Rupa Goswami giving sadhu sangha and service to the deity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting Hare Krishna, living in the spiritual atmosphere. By these 5 items we can make tremendous progress very quickly. Yes. Microphone has to be.
Following on Harinam Prabhu's question, I am determined to have a nice material life, to make money, to drive good car, to go on holidays. How can I transfer that determination?
How can you
Transfer the determination
How
from
can you transfer that
material to spiritual?
determination? Yes. Just change the account. Now I'm determined to get money to increase my assets. So keep that determination, but just put the money in a different account. Vaishya has to make money. We have in various godbrothers or devotees. You know, who was that? Radha Jivan. He's one devotee who he was running the gift store at Mayapur. Then he moved to America, started a clothing business, and within a very short time it was $1 million business. Because he's a Marwadi. So when a Marwadi starts a business, it has to be $1 million. On account of our past activities, just like Dhruva Maharshi had to be of a Kshatriya nature. Someone else has to be very scholarly. He has to be scholarly. Someone else has to be a leader. Someone else has to be something else. So by our nature, that may be there. So we don't say cancel your nature, just go to the forest and become a sadhu. But continue with that same activity. But do it for Krishna. Everything is needed. Leadership is needed. Money is needed. Management is needed. Philosophy is needed. So everything has its improper implementation in the service of Krishna. So just continue those same things. But think, how can I do this for Krishna? And then it becomes more rewarding. When I do it for myself, then I'm a miser. And the miser will never be happy. Tripyanti neya kripana bhavadukavana. He'll be miserly, but what can he do? Chew on his money. But when we use our abilities to please Krishna, then we become more pleased. Simple thing. The stane stata shruti gatam tanubha. Just we can stay in our present position, but use our body, mind, words for the service of Krishna. Is that okay? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned, for example, if Ambani comes in front of me and asks for grains, it's because I don't know the position of Ambani. Similarly, when Vishnu came, how did Dhruv Maharaj recognize his opulence, Vishnu's opulence?
You couldn't miss it. how did he recognize Vishnu's opulence? He couldn't miss the opulent features of the Lord. The Lord is not impersonal. The Lord has all beauty, he has everything. The description is there in the Bhagavatam. What form Dhruva saw, how he was decorated with Vajanti garland, how he had 4 arms holding Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, how he had his helmet and golden ornaments, how he was smiling so beautifully. This is not a person, ordinary person. This is not an ordinary person. So once Dhruva could understand, and because he was chanting under the guidance of Narada Muni, his spiritual master, he was chanting the mantra. So his heart became purified. Why was it that he didn't just see the Lord and say, great, we finally come. Well, here's what I was looking for. The kingdom, this standard, okay, you're on board? No, his heart has become purified. Oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to serve you.
So then how do we recognize Krishna around us? Because he is...
How do we recognize?
Krishna's presence around us, like...
How do we recognize Krishna's presence?
Around us, like Guru Maharaj could realize it. How do we recognize that as well?
Yes, by hearing. Krishna's presence is perceived not by seeing, but more important by hearing. Even suppose the Prime Minister of Australia were to walk into the hall, I wouldn't recognize him. I don't even know the gentleman's name. What to speak of, his form. I look like an ordinary person to me. But that's so devotee. That's the Prime Minister. So by hearing, and once I can understand, Prime Minister. So what I wouldn't see with my eyes, I can see once I've heard it. So hearing is that. Therefore, what is our process? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Then we'll Krishna is present everywhere in the form of His holy name. And when we realize the presence of the holy name, then we can realize everything else, the form of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord, everything, because there's no difference in the time, now. Yes, behind you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very many years ago, I seen you in Hyderabad.
If you hold it close.
Very many years ago, I seen you in Hyderabad.
Oh.
Now let's ask the question, because I like to look after my God brothers and sisters. And one time in Mayapur, I went there, and they had nowhere for us to stay.
No.
And so I approached many different department heads. Do you have somewhere for us to stay? And everyone said no. And I kept on climbing higher until I got to the right person. Within an hour, we had set in cement that we are going to pay for the rooms for Prabhupada's disciples for the next festival. Then after about 4 years, they locked it in cement, and Mayapur pays for those rooms, and 20 Prabhupada's disciples can come for the festival at any time of the year and stay. So now, what I want to do, with the help of Krishna's mercy, is I would like for us to have retirement villages for Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and then later, when they've left, this will be set in cement for the rest of the Hare Krishna movement. And I think it's very, very important, because the non-devotees, they look upon us that we have everything in place, but that's one thing we haven't got in place. And I know there's quite a few Prabhupada's disciples in the world that really don't have a proper place to live. And so I would like very much to see that happen. What do you think about that idea?
What do I think about retirement villages for prophets, disciples, or others, other devotees? Well, two things. One thing is, I'm writing a book about retirement. It's being published in installments on my website, jswami.info. There's about 15 installments already published. Because our retirement is different from the retirement of the materialists. The materialists want to retire to a nice community with a golf course and a pool and comfort and nearby cinema and play cards and solve crossword puzzles and watch television and go fishing. And this is their idea of retirement. But the Vaishnava idea is Vanaprastha. Not only Vaishnavas, even any follower of Varnashram Dharma is Vanaprastha ashram. The Vanaprastha ashram is not meant for comfortable retirement. It's meant for tapasya, for detachment, and especially for devotional service. Especially for devotional service. And it also starts earlier than the retirement of the ordinary karmis. They'll retire when they're 70, when they're 75, when they can no longer trudge to work. Then they'll retire. The retirement of the Varnashram system actually begins at 50. And the goal is not how will I be comfortable, how will I enjoy my miserable golden years, but how can I rejuvenate myself in spiritual activities and make spiritual progress, serve Krishna, serve the world by spreading Krishna consciousness, or just by cultivating Krishna consciousness. That aspiration is there. So I'm coming, there's more, right? I'm just going to stop at that. And so this is a large topic, and sort of the missing ashram in our Krishna consciousness movement. We have brahmacharis, we have sannyasis, lots of grahastas, but and has anyone ever seen a vanaprastha? And what is a vanaprastha? What does a vanaprastha do? All right, I'm ready to become a vanaprastha. Where do I sign up? What do I do? How do I do it? What are the rules? What are the procedures? What's the idea? And practically there's nothing about this generally told, although in Prabhupada's books it is there. And so I'm writing this book, The Vanaprastha Adventure, and those who are interested can read what's already online, and if you press the subscribe button, you'll get each installment. They come out every week or so, usually, together enough that I'm not scatterbrained and so you have to forget everything. Then it gets published. And we're hopeful that devotees will benefit from these things. But there comes a time when we may not be able to travel in the world or do this or that, even just to get through the day may be very difficult business. So then yes, some facility is wanted for taking care of the elderly. This was the duty, and this is the topic that comes in my book. Who is supposed to do it? Who's supposed to provide for the elderly? Who's supposed to provide for the orphans? Who's supposed to provide for the widowed ladies? Who's supposed to provide for other such people who are in need, they're diseased, or they're in difficulties? Who's supposed to do that? Is it supposed to be an ISKCON department? Is it ISKCON's business to do this, and therefore ISKCON is negligent? It hasn't established all these departments. So my argument is that it's the duty of the grahastas. And this is stated throughout our books. There are 4 ashrams. The brahmacharis don't make any money. The vanaprasthas, they're the people in question, they don't make any money. And the sannyasis are not supposed to be making money. Then who's earning money? That's the grahastas. And they're earning money, and they have a license for material enjoyment. Family life means there's some material happiness, at least the idea is there. There's some facility for sex life. The grahastas are allowed to eat a little nicely. Brahmacharis and sannyasis and vanaprasthas are supposed to be a little austere. And grahastas, they have a little more scope for a nice house, nice car, a nice family. So they have a license for these things. It's legal. But it's not a free license. And if you want a driver's license, if you want any kind of license, you have to pay. So the grahastas have a license for sense gratification, but it's not a free license. The cost of the license, you have to pay for the brahmacharis, you have to pay for the vanaprasthas, you have to pay for the sannyasis to support them. This is the duty of the grahastas, because they're the earning section. But it's not that I earn, and then with whatever I earn, I can build up my estate, accumulate more and more capital. I get my portion, but then I have to, it's my duty to support the brahmacharis, to support the vanaprasthas, to support the sannyasis. So my argument would be that don't wait for ISKCON, you'll die before ISKCON gets it together. But the grahasta community, and take any, it doesn't, not just Hinduism, in Islam, in Judaism, in Christianity, who takes care of these people? It's the local community. It's the local householders who are the family members, men who are making money. They take the responsibility that this person's in our community, he doesn't have this, he's in need. They come up with the money to do it. So my argument would be that it's the duty of the community members to take it seriously, that, all right, we have to provide for these old people also. And it's, what would we say, an investment in the future, because in the future I'll be one of those members. Now I'm earning money, I'm a little good health, whatever. Later I'll be one of those decrepit people who's dependent on help from others. So I have to take it as, how I may, anyway, not be in trouble, or be in trouble, but it's my duty. In the 10th canto, Krishna tells, he's apologizing to Devaki and Vasudeva, that somehow or other I was transferred to Gokul and we weren't able to serve you. Our mother and father, we weren't able to serve you. So please forgive us, we couldn't serve you. And Krishna says that anyone who's has the ability to serve the parents, the elderly, the dependent people living here, and fails to do so, is a dead body even though he's breathing. He's breathing, but he's a dead body. Practically course. So gradually, ISKCON is still a young society. Krishna consciousness movement is recent development. But it has to come to this point where our Grahasta community takes the charge. Not that we wait for a resolution to come from Mayapur that from henceforward this will happen. But we have to take it seriously and locally. And yeah, these people, it's our duty. We have to take care of. Is that okay? Yes. Oh, you're switched off. You're still off.
Hello.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much. Well, I've got a proposal.
All right.
There's a very nice place that I have visited many times. It's coming up for sale. It has over 60 units, and it's on a 40 acre property, and it has all facility and lots of room for expansion. We can have a temple. See, my idea was that Prabhupada's disciples can go and live there. And then Prabhupada's disciples, the ones in need, they could go and live there, and the devotees would take care of them, whatever they need. And in turn, because when we get to this age, we can't do much. I just spent 4 weeks in the hospital. I couldn't hardly walk. So many things happened to me, and I'm still struggling. Now, what we have left is we have our voices.
Have our
voices.
Voices.
Yes.
Some of us.
Yes. And like Sabhavati Prabhu, he just passed away. The one who started the New Govardhan. We're going for a memorial service tomorrow. And he tells the story. 1 year ago, he put out a story telling all about how New Govardhan came about. It was so wonderful. I got so inspired. Because I spent 14 years on New Govardhan. And I know all the young people, all the young devotees, they love to hear from Prabhupada's disciples. And just in the last 2 years, I got a multiple entry visa into India for 6 months of the year. So I break it up to two visits. And my God, I'm going to temples where some of them have never met.
Some of them?
Some of them have never met Prabhupada's disciple, let alone Mataji.
Well, that's also part of, you'll find in my book, that there's so much opportunity for Prabhupada disciples or other devotees, if you'd like to go out and just speak about Prabhupada, speak about Krishna. The world is waiting to hear.
Yeah, they are. They're just so eager. And they're so eager to serve, too. They're just...
Absolutely.
Nothing they can't do for you.
Absolutely.
And see, but when we're getting, like, I don't know how long my traveling's going to go on. Krishna's shown me just in the last 2 months. Hey, look at this. And so I thought if we had a place like that, the devotees can come there and we can do like talks.
Well, keep that thought, and it can be discussed among those who have the means and the capability to evaluate and consider and implement. I know in Tucson, Arizona, in America, one of our godbrothers passed away there. Charu Hassan, artist. He passed away in Tucson, and some of the devotees felt inspired that we should, because they took care of him, and they felt inspired we should have a place for taking care of such elderly devotees. And they've done it. They've just recently sort of implemented, opened the facility here. It's not 62 rooms, but it's something. And our godbrother Vaikuntha, who just passed away, he spent his last days there. Very early pioneering devotee Vaikuntha. So the attempt is being successful. They have some facility for elderly. There's young, old, and then there's old. So for the old, they've started something. And the world is, we have so many different corners. We have Australia, we have India, we have America, we have Mexico, we have Japan. So in different parts of the world, the local devotees can take the responsibility, how to take care of the elderly, how to take care of the widows, the orphans, or any of the Vaishnavas who are in need of help. The responsible grahastas can take that up. So present your case to them. I'm nobody, but you're here. You can speak to some of the leading devotees and see what can be done.
If any devotees here are interested in doing this wonderful service, we can have a beautiful place. It's in the countryside, it's in Queensland, and it's coming up for sale. And when I'm there, I just see so many things that we could do there. And it might be the first one in the world, but it'll inspire other countries as well.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Arash, if I could just thank you
Thank you.
for your limited presence here, which is filled with realization and kindness. I simply wanted to say, personally, we're very attached to this community. They've been through tribulation. For me, they embody consciousness, Krishna consciousness. It's very, very sweet. It reminds me aspects of what Prabhupada gave us years ago. The caring, the transparency, the commitment to principles, and they deserve the association. So I wanted to personally thank you from the core of my heart for taking your time and coming here, because there's no one else that deserves it better. I'd like to thank also Saki Varikaru and many of you. Whatever they engage with consciousness. Prophet said, Krishna consciousness. So they deserve it. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Jai. Yes. What is bhakti? Bhakti is defined sarvopari nirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam yishikena yishikesha seva. Bhakti. You know that word? Showed you the same verse. See, we're all on the same page here. There's no two opinions about what bhakti is. To get free from the bodily concept of life, give up these false designations, clean our consciousness, and use our purified senses in the service of the master of the senses. You can be a leader in bhakti. Okay. We're closing the curtains. Pull and just pull here, and the curtains will come down. And I don't know if that was also meant to be curtains for me, that I should.
His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. So thank you, Maharaj, for that class and for especially the last section. Everyone can start preparing their retirement plans for 50 and support the other ashrams of ISKCON and of our community. So I've come back here after 2 years, and the first thing I can observe is the togetherness in the community, especially throughout the ages, throughout all the different age groups. Everyone gets along. You see a 15-year-old talking to a 65-year-old, and it's very heartwarming and it's very encouraging to see. But beyond the feelings, the energy that you can experience, there are also some numbers and some progress reports of what has been happening behind the scenes of this wonderful community. And I'm going to hand over to Viraj Krishna Prabhu, who's going to present an annual report or a progress report over the last 2 years of everything that has been done by the members of this community, by all of you. So without further ado, a big Hare Bol to Viraj Krishna.
Can someone help with the connection? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyapati Shatarine Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhudevyacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, esteemed Srila Prabhupada disciples, and all the Vaishnavas assembled here. I had been given this task of presenting the year in review, 2024 highlights. So please bear with me for some time. On the onset about 2 years ago, when we had this center in inception, at that time there were a few key considerations we had gone through, and we looked at the sensitivities that were involved in achieving those considerations and the desired outcomes that we would like to have. And decision-making process was one of the key ones, and engagement we recognized as one of the key sensitivities. And so collective management was the outcome that we desired. And so one of the reasons for success in this yatra has been of the collective involvement of devotees from different ages, different walks of life, and there has been no so-called superior or inferior point of views. Every view has been taken into account. And then, of course, money is a consideration, and we'd like a lifetime contribution of this from members, because without money, projects like what Shobhi Mataji mentioned is not possible. But of course, if people see that they can gain out of this in all aspects of life, including monetary terms, then lifetime contribution they'll be able to give. And of course, this means they have to give time. And why would they give time if there are not nourishing relationships here? One of the things that I know my family looks forward to is coming here every Saturday, Sunday mornings for Bhagavatam, where we have a sense of belonging. and friendly relationships with everyone. And that gives us a commitment to come and associate with devotees. And this comes as, individuals and family unit as a whole. This morning I got a message from Sydney, where I spent most of my time, and therein a young student that I was teaching from 5 years of age. She's now initiated in her early 20s, and she gave her first Bhagavatam class in North Sydney Temple. So she sent, she asked for blessings and sent the video of that class. So it was very nice and to see that how young children grow up and develop. So similarly, in this community also, we're seeing now that 4, 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and young adults are taking up responsibilities to do things and are growing together with us in this community. And they have a sense of belonging, because we can see that genuine welfare activity is being done here. And this all contributes to spiritual growth. And of course, the key consideration is that the preaching has to be selfless if there has to be spiritual growth. And when selflessness is there, then the result, of course, is pure devotional service. And while we would like to be, completely selfless and unmotivated, but nonetheless seeing so many examples of devotees who are contributing selflessly, even though we may not be there, but we feel inspired at least to be there. And then, of course, accountability is one of the key aspects. Every half yearly, we have been producing our accounts, giving details of incomings and outgoings, and this has given a lot of confidence to devotees who have been coming for quite some time to contribute as well. And that's the trust, is the outcome that we'd like to achieve, that in 2 years' time, I think in Australian Yatra, it is unheard of that almost 2/3 of the loan of the original property has been paid off. So from that applause, I would assume that very quickly that 1/3 amount will be paid off as well. There has to be a lot of applause in that. So please, contribute as well. And of course, participation is there. And as Keshwari Mataji mentioned, she's coming here after 2 years, and we are getting consensus from everyone. Different points of views are entertained, and we go into the room and fight it all out, and we get optimal outcome. So it is not my way or highway or anyone's way or highway. It is genuine engagement and involvement. And actually this will be the key contribution towards success if we want to see a larger community develop, and all those aims that Maharaj so nicely has explained, and Suri Mataji has been asking questions about, because we all will grow old, we all will one day, the faculty of senses, mind, body will deteriorate. What then if you don't have this devotional community to look after? But for that to happen, we also have to do our part when we are in Grasta Ashram. And of course, last two remaining, this will all make devotional service susukham kartavya, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that performed joyfully and everlastingly. so many nice feedbacks, over the past few months I've had that, we really like coming here. The children are saying, the parents say that even if we sometimes are lazy, the children drag us here, and so enlightening to hear. And so happy individual will result in happy congregation. Jai Shri Shri Radha Giri Govardhan Hari Ki. Then of course this will result in Nagara Adigram organic expansion without frying out everyone, and goodwill and reputation, and all this will please Srila Prabhupada. I won't go into the details of the property. Everyone basically, of the last 2 years we have already been through a lot. Just 2 points I'll mention here that we recently had 4 or 5 months back kitchen upgrade, and that's a good sign because that means more prasadam efficiently will be cooked and devotees can relish. And also we had got a grant of $309,000 from the government for security upgrade. And a lot of volunteers are needed, and a bit later on I'll mention about that as well. Okay, so here in review, of course the most common one, Saturday Love Feast program, like this one we are having today. So a lot of devotees have been involved, and some of the things that I'd like to mention on this point is that the key mark of Saturday Love Feast program has been, of course, following Prabhupada's standards and example. First one, would anyone guess? Sumptuous prasadam, very good donation. And enthusiastic cooks. Big hand for enthusiastic cooks. And dedicated cleaners. Surcharged kirtanyas. And engaged youth. It is too humble. And of course, beautiful deities. Shri Shri Radha Giri Govardhan Hari Ki. And happy gathering. And then while this the discourse here goes on for adults, in the parallel room, the children's classes, Sandapani Muni classes goes on, and from ages of 4 years to 12 years, children are participating there in 3 different classes. At the moment we have 40 students. This year enrollment is still open, and we have about 5 to 7 teachers who are actively volunteering and teaching children the Vedic wisdom and scriptural studies, behavioral studies. And then we have Srimad Bhagavatam study. Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Jai. And actually, I firmly believe that the only reason we probably got this place is because of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam installation about 2.5 years ago, and in that Srimad Bhagavatam installation, the real estate agent who was selling this place, his assistant happened to be there, and unknown to us, he's there. Jai, Harsh Prabhu. So Harsh Prabhu is the real estate agent from Revoy, and he's the assistant of Zishan, who's selling this property before it belonged to the church. And many faith groups were competing for this property. There was an Afghan group of Muslim faith, a few Christian denomination groups from South Pacific Islands, and of course we as well. And Prabhuji very nicely guided us so that we could secure this property. And later on we came to that the price we had put forward after deadline of the final receiving, another group had offered about $600,000 more than us. But by that time, the boss who was handling this deal, Harsha's boss, was already in a mood to go for holiday, and he had signed off our contract. So, Srimad Bhagavatam. So daily we have Zoom classes. 25 to 35 devotees are participating daily in these classes. We have 7 to 10 speakers. The class is nice, short, about 30 minutes, starting from 6:30 daily and ending at 7. So most of devotees are grahastas, so they can, very nicely partake in study of Bhagavatam, and at the same time then do their household chores as well. And the highlight of the week for Srimad Bhagavatam is that we gather here every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and in person we have nice Bhagavatam discussion. And so this is an opportunity for you all tomorrow. I hope the place is as filled as it is now for tomorrow morning Srimad Bhagavatam. And of course the good thing is that we are, after Bhagavatam classes, we are able to associate with each other and relish prasadam together, and that opportunity is not available on Zoom or Facebook Live. And we actually, Sakirai Prabhu and myself were talking, we can't fathom that why would anyone not come for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, because the prasadam is really so nice after. So please come and give yourself a break at home. Sunday is supposed to be the holy day. And then outreach programs. We have Bhakti Rikshas, about 7 Bhakti Riksha. And I'd like to special mention here His Grace Keshav Priya Prabhuji. He runs about 4 Bhakti Rikshas. 4 Bhakti Rikshas, and most of the volunteers over here have been sourced from the Bhakti Rikshas, and that has been a model actually for us going forward, that we are encouraging more and more devotees to go outside and create smaller units, and those smaller units then can be combined to have here, and so that we can have nice big association, and then bigger things can be possible. So please, whoever your friends, family members are, colleagues at work, please encourage them to join Bhakti Rikshas, and Krishna willing, in next few years we can grow exponentially. Book distribution. So book distribution, the total score for last year was 1,922 books for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. We had 610 Bhagavad Gita. We had 35 Srimad Bhagavatam sets during Bhadra Purnima, and altogether 46 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, 1 Chaitanya Charitamrita set, and 1,230 small books. And we'd really like to acknowledge His Grace Ramanuja Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, Giriraj Govinda Prabhu, and Rahul Prabhu. And then we have very vibrant youth preaching going on. As you can see from here, young girls and young boys very enthusiastically participating. So daily, on every Sunday, they gather together at 4 o'clock? No, Sunday. Saturday, sorry, yeah. I'm still living in Sunday zones. 4 o'clock. So For teenagers, if you have teenage children, you can send them here at 4 o'clock, and very nicely, they grace Sanatan Prabhu and Sneha Bhakti Mataji are taking children's classes. Last year, they covered Nectar of Instruction, Srila Prabhupada's books, and they do many nice fun activities, which builds nice cohesion and unity amongst youth. And also, one of the youths from that group, Keshni, she became inspired to start a university program at Griffith University. She's shaking her head because we pushed her actually. But nonetheless, she did most of the work, and in the university program, we're doing kirtans, Bhagavad Gita philosophy, and prasadam. The university program key. And then, especially for Western preaching, we have Sanatan Prabhu and Sneha Mataji. They're conducting tuning programs, and so they're conducting this in Forest Lakes. Fortunately, the Bhagavad Gita reading, meditation, chanting, and prasadam. So they have on average 15 attendees, and 5 are regularly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And last year, December, they got recognized by the Forest Lake community as Community Spotlight Champions. And of course, Hare Krishna Temple over the last year especially has achieved several benchmarks for festivals and achieving such high standards of festivals that devotees who have come have said, oh, they have never seen this kind of festivals here. So, our festival team is Grace Rasa, Mandal Prabhu, Gauraprem Prabhu sitting there, and Jamadagni Prabhu have played a vital role, and even before the year has hardly started, they're already planning for the festivals throughout the year. I received a phone call last week regarding that, so I know. So please, they are looking for volunteers, as our motto is that we don't want to do these services. Of course, we want to do these services, but we rather engage new devotees. And in that way, more and more contribution can be made by new devotees. So please, in areas of marketing, in areas of organizing, in manpower, woman power, a lot of devotees are still needed. Please come and see us and see how you can be involved. One thing I would like to mention, Govardhan Puja was the highlight of the year. Lakshmi Mataji is here. Lakshmi Mataji. No, so she was instrumental in planning for the design of the Govardhan Puja and the mountain and all the Annakut and all the different places in Govardhan, and of course our dear Prabhuji Kishore Prabhu from Surat. He was very closely involved as well. We're getting to the end of it. The month festivals we had Bhadra Purnima and Damodar month. In Damodar month we had more than 39 home programs. Collectively 1,780 lamps were offered to Shri Yashomati Nandan Damodar. Then we are also now involved in community food distribution. So we are associated with 2 charities, and twice a month these charities we go to them and distribute prasadam, so that those in need who are homeless, they are having to honor prasadam. Jai Prasadam distribution key. And the last one I'd like to mention is devotee care. This is, a topic very close to many devotees' heart. And Arti Priya Mataji has been heading this area for devotees. And for elderly, young couple, and those who have been hospitalized. So last year, 5 devotees have been helped. While this number may seem small, but this is just a start. We want to have a community where helping, caring for each other is the basis for practice of Krishna consciousness. And so 250 meals were arranged by Mataji, and we have about 20 volunteers who contributed to cooking meals and getting prasadam to them when they were either in hospital or they were hospitalized, or one family they had newborn baby but they didn't have extended family support, and different circumstances are there. And also the youth also went a few times and to the hospital, and they did Krishna book reading to the devotee. Jai Devotee Care Program Ki. So this, in a nutshell, was reviewed for 2024, and I'm sure during the 3-day the Festival of Unity that we are having, His Grace Sakya Prabhu will at length mention and thank devotees and mention more opportunities that are available throughout. Anything more, Prabhuji? No, thank Jai.
Kitchen license.
Yes, we have got kitchen license, by the way. So everything we cook here is legal now. It's very hard to get kitchen license in Australia. The regulations are so tough. But with help of the collective of devotees, Vijay Kavi Prabhu and Khanna? Varun Khanna. These 2 devotees have really helped in getting us the license. So, I remember when we were doing Janmashtami celebration last year, someone complained that these guys are not supposed to have such big gatherings over here, and council inspectors kept ranking us, and these licenses came in very handy, otherwise they would have closed us down. So we have a good team of devotees, very professional. We have 4 chartered accountants. Big hands for chartered accountants. They're making sure that we are honest and transparent, and they do make sure about that. And we have good legal team as well, through which we have had tax deduction status. So if you give donations here, you can claim it in your tax as well. So that's more of a reason to give more donations at Harekrishnatemple Bank. So remember, 1/3 of the loan is still remaining, and let's pay it off before the first half of the year ends. 30th of June is the tax time, so we can do that. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So Viraj Krishna Prabhu mentioned Sacharge Kirtan. So if I can ask everyone to please stand and invite Harinamanand Prabhu for Sacharge Kirtan, and there's a few car announcements.
There's a car, white Toyota Corolla, 533 KUR. Anyone's car, can you please move it? It's just parked right outside there.
533 KUR. So after Sacharge Kirtan, we will have sumptuous legal prasadam. So please, if everyone could stand up, and I invite Harinamanand Prabhu to lead us in our roaring Gora. Oh, sorry. If everyone could sit back down. You've been sitting for too long, so I just wanted you to stand up and then sit down. So I can get everyone to sit back down, please. of your help if you could stand up and sit down without using your hands.
Thank you.
I want you to age well. So, Jayadvaita Maharaj has come with a few of his books on Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan standards. If anybody would like a copy, Maharaj will also sign it. You can see him or Amarendra Krishna Prabhu after the program. So thank you. You can all stand back up again. Try not to use your hands. And ready for Dwara
How's your India? Very nice. You've been to Vrindavan?
Only one day, I went to Mayapur.
How many days in Mayapur?
Huh?
How many days you
6 days. Very nice.
I think they are going to start like they are going to start a temple like this by this year, right?
Hare
A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anand Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prince Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gokavinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Ki Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Tham Ki Jai, Navadvip Tham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Gangramani Ki Jai, Jamadamani Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
So before everyone that's left goes out for prasadam, I just wanted to say a few special thank yous for today's program. And remember, this is just the first of 3 days, so please come tomorrow and then again on Monday for another ecstatic festival.
Tuesday's holiday.
Tuesday's a holiday. Today's cooking team, Purna Kushal Mataji, Bhavamani Mataji, Vishwanath Prabhu, Reena, Preeti, Ishan, who I am told is the youngest enthusiastic kitchen help, Sahil, Mihir, and Virat Krishna. Tonight's Ekadashi feast was sponsored by Jyotsna Ben Gadvi, Vijay Prabhu's mother, so thank you very much. Of course, cleaning, an integral part of our yatra. So Team Kana is in charge of cleaning today. Thank you to Rasa Mandal Prabhu, Amish Prabhu, Keyur Prabhu, and Kishan Prabhu. Thank you to Gaurav Prabhu and Rachna Mataji for sponsoring the beautiful garlands that the deities are wearing today. And big thanks to Harsh Prabhu for organizing the fresh yoga for this 3-day festival. Prasadam is being served outside, and we'll see you tomorrow at tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Namaste, Namaste, Gaya.
Namaste, Namaste, Gaya. Hare Krishna. Prasadam is served outside. We request you to all please proceed towards Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
We have